Hi, my name is Wilx, and this is episode 14 of Project Ozone. Well, in between episodes, I dramatically shrank the size of my farm. I had a 15 by 15 farm before, now it's down to a 7 by 7. The reason I did this is when I tried out the reinforced watering can that I had to make for the quests, and I put an autonomous activator set to first slot only, had it face down, it makes these things grow incredibly fast. The rest that didn't have a watering can just weren't worth having. So I shrank it down to this size, dramatically reduced the, I think it dramatically reduced the power. Yeah, it's down to 2,000 now, so it cut the power use less than half. So, not that I care about power. So anyways, it's still got the test rack feeding the stuff over there. And I grew all the stuff I wanted, like the wither and the dyes and things like that. Or at least the things I could think of at the time. I've switched it over to emeralds now. I'm just using them for the EMC value. And it's auto-crafting them into emeralds and feeding them in to make them into EMC. Something else I did in between sessions is I set up the sieving operation again. We're getting some new stuff, like, for instance, no, not that one. Sanguinine. Sanguinine is even better than the tartarate. So decided I wanted to get some of that. And so basically this time I did it differently. Instead of using 6 hammerers, I just used 3 pulverizers, because pulverizers are desperately overpowered in this pack. They're way faster than they would normally be. They one of the first people I heard mention it was Wells Knight in his video series, but I've heard lots of other YouTubers mention it so far. And notice I've got, in this sieve here, I've got 48 speed upgrades, 48 speed upgrades in that, 48 speed upgrades in that, and I've only got 3 pulverizers doing the whole thing instead of 6 hammerers with 48 speed upgrades in each of them. And these they may be resonant, but I haven't put any augments in them, so they're just acting strictly as basics right now. So the way I have them configured is they get fed in cobble from one side, it turns it into gravel. The gravel gets pushed into this one and into that through the sides, and out the bottom the extra sand gets shoved straight into this sieve here. Then this one takes the gravel, makes it into sand, pushes sand directly in here and directly in there, and then the extra dust that it gets pushed into the sieve over here through a pipe. And then this one just makes dust and pushes it directly into there. And as you can see, these things are all full. So with 48 speed upgrades, 3 pulverizers is capable of doing what 6 hammers did with all their speed upgrades in them. And then it's feeding it to the auto packagers. The auto packagers are I've got to take you underneath to show you the rest of this. I decided to try out this ultimate furnace. I've always done it with other things. I really didn't care about the doubling. I'm getting so much of this stuff, I'm going to be shutting these things off in a little while because I just don't want to store it all. So this furnace is working really, really quick. The stuff comes in really fast, gets cooked instantaneously, and shoved out the other side. To make the Ender IO conduits work that fast, I put 5 speed upgrades for each of these chests up here, and on the extract part, and then 15 speed upgrades for the extraction out of it. So I've got it coming in from the top, out from the bottom, and coal coming in from the side. I think it has to be configured like that. I don't think you can do it for other sides. Just like you would with a regular vanilla furnace. And then coal gets shoved in here. This thing's almost full. I think it's going to start shoving coal over into the drawers after that. Either that or I'm going to have to enlarge this or put a void on it because I'm getting so much coal. But that's enough coal to keep this thing going full tilt too. I am filtering a couple of things out here. I've got this ender chest. It shoves things over to an energy condenser. So at this point, iron is being fed into an energy condenser because I just got too much of it, and I don't feel like storing all that iron, even though I could put upgrades in and keep lots and lots of it. I just don't need it. There's no reason for me to do that. Then a couple of things that I also have too much of is I'm just trashing the cactus seed and cocoa beans. They don't need to be trashed. They can also be used for EMC. So where's the cocoa beans going to show up now? Whoops. Is it in here? I don't know what gets cocoa beans. Come on, give me cocoa beans. Well, we'll get them a different way. We'll just come up here. We'll come over to our cocoa bean drawer because I've already saved lots of these. Cocoa bean. There we go. And, never mind, I'll deal with that later. I've got to run a new wire from whichever one of these it is over to this. There is nothing running over to it right now. I'll do the wiring later. Okay, so I've also set up a set of storage drawers, as you can see. We'd use the compacting drawers over there to make the compressed cobble. That was a very efficient way of doing it. But what they were really meant for is the task we've used them for here. You put the, let's say, iron in as ingots, and you can pull it out as blocks or nuggets or ingots. And if you hook up something like an AE storage bus to the controller, it can the AE system can access everything in all the drawers in whatever format it wants, whether it wants it as blocks or ingots or nuggets, saving you the trouble of having to keep switching them over for auto crafting and stuff like that later on. So I decided to, after I had to set this up because I'm just getting too much stuff out of here, right? And I needed somewhere to put it. Also, I left the plants going for a second and I got so much of it I had to put it somewhere. So I decided to set this up as storage. And I decided to take it a step further. I'm going to use an inventory panel from Ender.io. I actually saw one episode of a guy called Cashem MoJo. I think he's only ever done one episode of Project Ozone. He might be streaming, but he put one episode up on YouTube. And I saw that where he used the Ender.io inventory panel to access the drawers, and he could craft straight out of it, and it looked quite interesting. And I thought it was something new you might not be familiar with, and I'd like to be able to show it to you. In other words, even in his words, it's like a starter ME system. Works very similar for crafting. Not I keep saying auto crafting, but for crafting things straight into the grid. So let's get working on the inventory panel. Now, you need to feed it nutrients. So one of the first things we're going to have to make is a vat. And a vat is made like this. So we're going to need a cauldron. And we are going to also need fluid tanks. And I'm going to make, whoops, I made too many. And then I should have everything else in there already. I do. Okay. So we're going to come over here. We're going to be feeding the vat. Notice this is a 2 drawer instead of a 4. We're going to be feeding it zombie flesh and nether or rotten flesh and nether wart. And we also need to feed it. Oh, let's get that first. I have a reservoir I made before to do the soul sand, but I'm not making soul sand that way anymore. I just do it with an energy condenser if I needed it. So we're going to steal this reservoir from over here. I'm going to rip out that whole soul sand production thing. Where's this? And we'll put the reservoir in here. And we need to give it a start, so we'll put 1 bucket of water in it. I think 1's enough, isn't it? Or does it take 2 to get it started? Looks like it takes 2 to get it started. Okay, we're going to need another one. There we go. That's filling it up. So we got power already because our power source is right underneath. And that's the one with the rotten flesh and the nether wart there. So we'll put this here. And we're going to need to give it fluids. Let's fluid pipe and item conduit. Okay, so fluids needs to come from there. It's going to go in here. This, we need to set it to extract. This, we're going to need to set it for an insert. And the fluid is just an insert. And you're going to be just an extract. Okay, so you should be getting water now. Yeah, you are. And you're getting both the rotten flesh and that. And you're already making distillate. Well, that was fast. Okay. Then, so I guess I didn't need to set this sucker up. Well, I guess I don't need to set that side up. Well, let's see if it works for the next side. So we're going to be pulling out of here for fluids, sticking them there and here. We're going to, that's our fluids. Then for items, we're going to stick it on there. Whoops. We don't want it on the bottom there. And we don't want it on either of the sides. Actually, I think I can just hit it a couple times. Yeah. Whoops. We'll just do it this way. Disabled, and you need to be set to in out. Okay. So we'll have our fluids coming over. This thing should be filling up. Why is it not filling up? Oh, because the extract and it's filling up. And I didn't have to set any sides on the vat. That's interesting. I thought I was going to have to set sides up on that. Okay. So now that the vat's set up and making its stuff, let's get on to our inventory panel. This thing's a little more involved, but not too bad. Okay. So the inventory panel, I know I'm going to need maybe 3 of these. one to make this, and 2 more for the item conduits, or 1 more for the item. So I need 2, yeah, maybe 3. I'm not sure. 1. Did it just grab 3? What does it read my mind? What the hell? Oh. So we've got that. We're going to need this thing. Oh yeah, this. So we're going to need a soul vial from a witch. While we're here, let's make this part. Oh, no. We'll make that later too. Okay, soul vial from a witch. We've already set this thing, the auto spawner over there. If we put a witch in a safari net inside it, it will spawn witches for us. They will be fed through this, off this conveyor system down into this hole, and we can get them down below. So let's go down below. I've already got a witch. And I've already got soul vials over there. I made them on an earlier episode. So we'll get a soul vial out of here. And if we look up inside, whoops. It's set for witches. This here is an insulated redstone conduit. It comes down to a conduit switch. So when it's green, it is giving a signal which is turning off the thing up top. I've got another one of those over there to turn off the grinder. So let's hit equals so that we get a little bigger on this. And we'll touch, right click that. We'll wait till it spawns a witch. Come on, witch. Where are you? Takes it a second to warm up. There, we got 2 of them already. And so we'll grab one, and we can just kill the other one. Where'd the other one go? Okay. Oh yeah, it's up. I can go down, I can't go up. All right. So now, where were we? We needed, oh right. We're working on this thing here. We need that. Now that's a slice and dice. So Solarium, silicone, vibrant alloy, and one of the special Enderman heads. Notice that they are not like regular Enderman heads. They are different. They are these ones here. They look different. Okay, so it's that. We need 2 of these. And we need 2 of these. And 1 vibrant alloy. Come over to our slice and dice. We stick that in there. That like that. That. And that. And boom. We got our resonant ender thingy. Okay, we come over here. We stick in the soul of a witch. We stick in that. And we click this to use up 10 levels of experience. Oh, I guess it was 1 level of experience. Okay. Now, so we've got this, we've got those, we've got that. And we made extra fluid tanks, so that's cool. Nope. What didn't it like? What's... Oh, we didn't make the awareness upgrades. And we wanted 3 of them. There we go. That's what was wrong. We made the things to make the awareness upgrades, but we didn't make the awareness upgrades. Okay, so we'll come over here and we'll slap this thing on here and come around. Now, have I got fluids running all the way in? Yes, I do. Okay, so that it needs to be set to in out. That needs to be enabled, and we need to put an awareness upgrade in there. This thing too needs an awareness upgrade. And that should be it, I think. And boom, we can see everything in all the drawers. So let's say we wanted to make something. How about some dye? We want to make... what sort of dye do we want to make? Ink sacs. Because we're going to need them later for other things. So we would just do this, and then we can pull out our ink sacs. Boom. That's simple. We can clear the crafter grid by pressing this, and it automatically feeds them back in. That's feeding back in a little slow, I think. So let's go put some speed upgrades on the extraction from this panel here. I think let's put in 5. They don't cost us anything, really. Whoops, there. All right, so let's say we were to make something else. Let's say we wanted to make a well, let's stick with dye. So we wanted red dye. Huh. Let's try dye. Ceramic red dye. Is there not any red? I guess it's red rose is what... it's not called dye, it's called red rose, isn't it? Huh. I forget what the red dye is called. I'll do orange. Or actually, let's just pick a dye, period. Any dye will do. So if we wanted purple dye, it would be like that. We would press this, and we could pull our purple dye out. So now when we clear the crafting grid, it's going in much faster. Okay. All right, so that covers the basics of what I wanted to do. So this makes crafting a lot faster. I'm going to have to move all the stuff over so I can, from that chest that I was using for crafting before, put it over here. I can make lots of subparts. From the controller, I can go 12 drawers over. I can put a set on the back as well if I want. I can go 12 drawers up. So my wall of drawers can be quite big. And drawers are really... Let's do it in here. Actually... So if you're doing the 4x4s, it's that cheap. It's just a bunch of wood, right? And you don't have to do 4x4s. You can do single ones, so they're like a a Java barrel then, or you can do a 2-drawer like I did for the flesh and stuff, which is that one there. So the drawers are really cheap, good storage system. Oh, and when I do get an AE system, I don't have to move everything over. I just hook up an AE storage bus to the controller, and the AE system can access everything in all the drawers as well. So it's a really good storage system, especially pre-AE. Even after AE, because of the compacting drawers, it's very good for the metals, so you don't have to switch them back and forth. It does it all automatically. So I really do like storage drawers in general, but I wanted to show this mod off so it's not just for making compressed cobble. It actually is a very good storage system, and it's works quite well. Oh, notice some of these have a green frame around them. If you right click on here, shift click, I've got 2 storage upgrades in here because I had that much stuff I wanted to put in. You can put up to 5. Each of these increases it by 13 times the base value. So you can get it up to 52 times. 52, is that right? Yeah, 52 times. No, 5 times 13 is 75 times. Right? 65 times. I can't do math today. 65 times the amount. And the base is, I forget how, 8 stacks, I think. And so once you get up to 65 times that, that's huge. And even the upgrade frames aren't very expensive. So drawers there it is. 4 emeralds, some sticks. One of these things, they're cheap too. Just sticks in another drawer. And so you can store an awful lot in each one of these. And it's much easier because it's really just the one upgrade. You keep shove it in a few times instead of like multiple upgrades for Java. That's the one thing I don't like about Java, is the way they do the upgrades, how much effort it is if you want to turn them all into gold barrels or something. This thing's so easy. Just drop one of these in and it's done. And you don't even have to open up the interface. You just click on the drawer and it automatically puts it in for you. Well, that covers it for this session. I hope you learned something new. If you liked what I did, please press the like button. Hope to see you next time. Go out there and have some fun. Thanks.